The disabled tyrant's beloved pet fish. Transmigration. Chapter 79. Liu slept for an entire day. This was the most carefree and worryless sleep he's had since he transmigrated. After he woke up, he still thought he was dreaming. Good thing the note and meal that Jingwang placed beside the fish tank reminded him that the other was already aware of Fish's identity, and also accepted him. Jingwang even got him plenty of local snacks. Liu happily changed into human form to eat his food. Since he didn't have anything to worry about anymore, he ate a lot. Jingwang was just next door. When he heard the sound of fish getting up, he smiled and ordered Wang Shi to summon the physicians. Jingwang had brought a few fairly skilled physicians from the imperial city to the west frontier just in case. After Liu finished eating, he was requested to go outside of the room to let the physicians check his pulse. Liu looked confused. He ate and slept very well, why did he need to see the doctors? However, seeing Jingwang was also present, Liu felt more at ease and obediently walked over. Sitting down next to Jingwang, he extended his hand to a physician. The physicians secretly gasped at this strange sight. Originally, they were still puzzled about the background of this young Master Li, afraid that they'd say the wrong words and offend someone. Seeing how they acted, treating him as Jingwang's family was no doubt accurate. After the physicians finished their assessments, they all stated that young Master Li was fine. Jingwang, however, specifically ordered Wang Shi to inquire if Liu received a shock. At first, Liu did get scared, but now that what he feared the most was resolved, Liu didn't even have any nightmares. However, seeing his boyfriend so nervous about him, Liu happily smiled. He was just about to tell Jingwang not to worry when Jingwang touched his hand under their sleeves and gave him a light squeeze. Liu recognized this secret gesture. The completely content and satisfied young Master Li paused for a moment, then went against his convictions and said, "I can't really sleep and have no appetite." The physicians huddled and discussed briefly, feeling like perhaps young Master Li really received quite a shock. An illness like post-traumatic stress disorder really was somewhat hard to tell. The physicians spoke in unison and asked young Master Li to rest quietly and peacefully. Jingwang unhurriedly gave Wang Shi a look. Wang Shi understood. Young Master Li received a shock was spoken casually in front of the imperial guards. No doubt that this information would be included in the report that would be sent to the imperial palace. There's no need to mention young Master Li's name. His Highness considered young Master Li to be his precious darling. If young Master Li received a shock, wasn't that equivalent to His Highness receiving a shock? After Wang Shi suggested this several times. This news was thus formed, which traveled back to the imperial city. As soon as Jingwang arrived at Lufeng town, he encountered a large number of assassins. Receiving quite a shock, he was now bedridden and unable to get up. After the emperor received the news, he was very worried and sent plenty of manpower to the west frontier again. Also, he ordered the imperial guards at west frontier to investigate the source of the assassination attempt thoroughly. He only wanted to test Jingwang, not kill him. Jingwang was the only remaining son of his main wife. For Jingwang to encounter an assassination attempt on the same night that he reached Lufeng town, it was hard for the emperor to not think about a conspiracy going on here. He also ordered the imperial guards to investigate the letters that had been traveling between the imperial city and Lufeng town lately. The emperor suspected that all of this commotion had something to do with the fight for the throne. Ganqing Palace was so quiet that one could hear a needle hit the ground. The emperor's gaze shifted to a list of princes that he had in his hand. The second prince was already insane. Who else would target Jingwang? Your Highness, you must be wary of the sixth prince. Using the excuse of being a Carpiao, Liu once again started to warn Jingwang of this fact. It was impossible not to nag about it. Assassins were already appearing. In the novel, Jingwang never went to the west frontier. Therefore, Li Yu couldn't determine who exactly sent these assassins. However, as the main villain, the sixth prince was the most suspicious. Li Yu was afraid that Jingwang would underestimate this person. Jingwang finally can ask, why? There were other princes, but Xiao Yu pretty much never mentioned the second prince or the third prince. The excuse that the sixth prince being a hindrance was too far-fetched. On Li Yu's side, he already had his explanation well prepared. The identity of a Carpiao was really very useful. He connected the gold finger from transmigrating to a cultivation clairvoyance skill and said, I know a cultivation technique that allows me to see a bit of the future. I know that the sixth prince will become your most formidable enemy in the future, Your Highness. You will even suffer multiple losses. Jingwang silently said to himself, I'm afraid that in the future, the sixth prince would have to be eliminated. When the sixth prince tried to mess up his presents for the emperor, Jingwang already figured out that this person had quite the ambition. Now that Jingwang had left the imperial city, the sixth prince's future looked prosperous on the surface. He was just about to enter the emperor's eyes and enjoy the emperor's attention solely to himself. However, in reality, if anything were to happen at the west frontier, even something minor, the emperor would immediately turn to examine the sixth prince closely in suspicion. Moreover, Jingwang wouldn't let the sixth prince feel too pleased with himself. Since the sixth prince kept on scheming against Xiao Yu, just based on this fact, Jingwang definitely wouldn't let him off. He still hadn't repaid the sixth prince for what happened at the birthday banquet yet. Li Yu saw that Jingwang was indeed taking this seriously. He then smiled and said, However, Your Highness, don't worry. He definitely won't be able to win against you. The reason that I kept reminding your honored self is because I don't want you take unnecessary losses. Jingwang nodded. So, the sixth prince is nothing but a paper tiger. Jingwang then asked, What kind of foresight skill do you have? Did you also use it last time with Xuěshān? Li Yu replied, Naturally, the matter with Xuěshān was also due to this cultivation technique. This technique is called Gold Finger. Jingwang mumbled to himself for a moment, then, Did you foresee the two of us with your gold finger? Li Yu swiftly shook his head and said, No. The gold finger is not always accurate. It only shows possibilities. Because the plotline had already been messed up. While beating around the bush, Li Yu told Jingwang the things that the sixth prince did in the novel. However, he didn't mention to Jingwang that he would definitely ascend the throne. That's because this knowledge might influence Jingwang's judgment of the present situations. Although the conclusion won't change, what if the process became too difficult and unnecessarily harsh? At the moment, it was prudent to be cautious. Jingwang then asked, Can I learn this skill? Li Yu was exasperated. Why don't Jingwang worry more about the sixth prince? Why did he ask questions related to cultivation technique? Wake up, Your Highness. You're the protagonist of a court intrigue genre. Why can't Jingwang get rid of his interest in cultivation? Li Yu forcibly suppressed an impulse to scream and did his best to say persuasively, Your Highness, you're a descendant of the noble family. Cultivation is not suitable for you. Please reconsider and don't waste any more time on this matter. Jingwang lowered his eyes, expression dimming. Then he asked, After you finish your heavenly tribulations, how long will you stay? Li Yu made a noise of surprise and recalled that the heavenly tribulation was his random excuse for appearing before Jingwang. Jingwang's words were also equivalent to asking, How long will Li Yu remain in the ancient world? The shitty system never mentioned the answer to this question before. Li Yu had never thought about it before either. At first, he very eagerly thought about transmigrating back. However, now that he had a connection in this era, Li Yu thought, if he could choose, then he would like to be with Jingwang for a very long time. In the novel, Jingwang was still very healthy even in his 40s. There were still plenty of years before then. Li Yu was only 18 years old. That's practically a lifetime to him. However, he transmigrated involuntarily. So would the time he had remaining also be something he won't be able to decide on personally? Li Yu seriously considered this for a while and said honestly, I don't really know myself. Surprisingly, he didn't want to deceive Jingwang on this matter. After hearing these words, Jingwang's face color paled abruptly as he grasped Li Yu's hand tightly. He used such strength that Li Yu even felt some pain from the grip. Your Highness, what's the matter? Li Yu asked, flabbergasted. He didn't know why Jingwang suddenly became emotional. Jingwang forcibly folded Li Yu into his arms, saying soundlessly over and over, don't leave me. Your Highness. Li Yu didn't understand and attempted to hug the other's shoulders, wanting to calm him down. The two of them fell into silence while embracing each other. A long time later, Wang Shi came asking for Jingwang, saying that the assassins had confessed. Jingwang needed to go decide what to do with them. This was something that couldn't be avoided. Jingwang let go of Li Yu, his face color was looking much better. Take good care of him. Jingwang glanced towards Wang Shi. Wang Shi nodded vigorously. The assassins did at least one thing right. Young Master Li and His Highness were clearly even more sticky now. In a flash, Li Yu convinced Wang Shi to go out. Then he turned around and entered the system. He remembered that when the assassins came, the for better or worse task was completed, but since he had lost his disguise, he didn't have a chance to examine it. Perhaps he could receive the reward now. Li Yu entered the system and immediately examined the main mission. As expected, the for better or worse task was finished. The reward was still one of Jingwang's secrets. Li Yu looked at the 4 choices for a while, entranced. He suddenly asked out of the blue, System, can I go back and look at a secret that I've chosen before? Since he had confirmed the presence of the cloth tiger doll, the secret from Changchun Palace jumped out in his mind every once in a while. Because Li Yu still couldn't figure it out clearly, he was unconsciously obsessing over it. The system fell silent for a while, as if considering. Li Yu thought this was hopeless. However, one of the 4 choices that he could choose from suddenly updated into the dim palace. Changchun Palace. All right. System said, host have been permitted to switch rewards. Please make your choice. Li Yu understood. This meant that for the reward this time, he could either pick one of the other 3 secrets that he didn't know or pick Changchun Palace again. He was still capable of obtaining Jingwang's other secrets in the future after finishing other missions anyways. It wasn't urgent. It's best to resolve this one first. Li Yu clicked on Changchun Palace. Instantly, he arrived at the location of the secret again, the room inside Changchun Palace. This time he was mentally prepared and looked around extremely carefully. The woman's general appearance and the short song that she hummed while waiting for the personal servant to appear, Li Yu more or less remembered both. Also he discovered that on the bed behind the woman, there was a cloth bundle there. Li Yu didn't notice it last time. This time, he examined it carefully. This cloth bundle looked a little like a swaddle. When the woman and personal servant were arguing, Li Yu noticed that the swaddle moved a little. A pair of black grape-like eyes looked out from it and watched what was happening with curiosity. So there was actually an infant in this room as well. Because the view was blocked by the woman from the start, and then later Li Yu's attention was focused on the 2 arguing people the first time he saw this scene, he wasn't able to discover the infant on the bed. Actually, this little infant had been here the entire time. Wait. This child made Li Yu abruptly realize one thing. Why would this be one of Jingwang's secrets? When he attempted to ask Jingwang himself didn't have any impression of this at all. But since it's a secret related to Jingwang, why didn't Jingwang appear in it? Actually Jingwang had been there the entire time. Li Yu was the one who never noticed him before. Because Jingwang was this infant. This was probably a scene that Jingwang saw as an infant. No wonder Jingwang had no impression of it as his older self. However, this memory remained in theory. Liu saw the little fatty before. He also very quickly recognized the infant version of the little fatty. It confirmed his guess but also created even more mysteries. Since Jingwang was an infant, and Liu didn't see the same cloth curtains that hang all over the place in Changchun Palace later for the memorial services, this meant that in this memory, Empress Xiaohui have not died yet. Then why would Empress Xiaohui allow a woman to stay alone with the little prince? According to the woman's age, they didn't seem like a normal palace servant. Liu saw that this woman's body was more rounded and developed than normal palace maids and suddenly jolted. Was this Jingwang's wet nurse? Her age, body figure, and the fact that she could stay together alone with the little prince, all matched up. So was this secret saying, when Jingwang was an infant, he once inadvertently saw his wet nurse being murdered by a personal servant? But even Jingwang himself executed plenty of people. Why would this be considered a secret? Liu just managed to make a tiny little breakthrough and he was already sinking into another pit. When Liu left the scene of the secret, the system promptly notified him, "Host, the main mission Revitalize the Bloodline has been activated. Before the start of the next step, please confirm this information." Liu made a noise of acknowledgement. His train of thought was blocked again, so it's best to just keep doing the mission. A notification box immediately jumped out of the system, "Host, please confirm your relationship with the Tyrant." Liu. The shitty system said to confirm the relationship, but the fact was, it was another multiples choice, petfish or lover. Petfish had already leveled up by this point. Liu naturally picked lover with a wide, ear-to-ear grin. The system then continued, "Host, please use the lover status that you just chose to complete the next task." At the same time, the system updated the next step of Revitalize the Bloodline to be passionate with the Tyrant like dried wood on fires. Liu, system, come out right now. I swear I won't beat you to death. To complete the for better or worse task, it required him to risk his life selflessly for Jingwang. What was he supposed to do with be passionate like dried wood on fires? Accidentally making a relationship too deep in earlier stages was the issue here. Liu smiled vulgarly. Didn't this mean that even the system wanted him to do the nasty? Was it springtime now? He ate a lot and drank a lot, and also craved for Jingwang's body more and more. End chapter. The Disabled Tyrant's Beloved Petfish. Transmigration. Chapter 80. Liu felt like the mission this time was most in accordance with his own wishes. After he put everything in order, he started to plot secretly. The room must be cleaned and tidied thoroughly. Liu even changed the bed covers to a crimson blanket, which looked rather ceremonial. He placed a matching pair of jade pillows next to each other, one of which had several small boxes of creamy ointment stuffed behind it. Wang Gonggong supplied all of these with kind intentions. Liu couldn't tell which one was better to use, so he prepared a bit of each. What came after this was making good use of the silver hourglass, picking a good time to transform and then bundling up in the blankets to wait excitedly. Liu felt like he had already made everything clear enough. If the boyfriend still didn't understand, then he was actually a stupid block of wood. Liu requested Wang Shi to help pass along the message, wanting Jingwang to return a bit earlier. Although Liu was in the West Frontier right now, he really didn't feel as if anything was different from when they were at Jing Estate. This was most likely because Liu felt safe and secure in Jingwang's presence. As Liu waited and waited, he actually fell asleep again. When he woke up from his nap, only half of the sand was left in the silver hourglass, but Jingwang still didn't return yet. Liu rubbed his eye and got up. How come Jingwang hasn't returned yet? Was he held up by some issue? Li Yu remembered that the other should be dealing with the assassins, so it was inconvenient to bring Li Yu along. Li Yu also consciously avoided these kinds of situations. Ultimately, Jingwang was a royalty from ancient times. He had his own methods of dealing with things. Not to mention, he needed to fight for the throne in the future. Li Yu couldn't demand Jingwang to follow the ideology of a modern man. As long as Jingwang didn't murder innocents carelessly, Li Yu could still understand. Li Yu sat and waited for a little while longer. His worry for Jingwang eventually defeated all the useless thoughts in his mind. Li Yu decided to go look for Jingwang himself. He was just about to get dressed when he caught sight of a faint light coming through the next door window. Li Yu had a thought. Looks like he knew where Jingwang was. Wrapping himself up in blankets, Li Yu pushed open the door that separated him from next door. The tall-figured young man was currently looking at a table full of secret reports, eyebrows furrowed deeply. For a moment, Li Yu really wanted to help him chase away all of his worries. "Your Highness, are you still that busy?" Li Yu called out quietly. Jingwang raised his head and saw Li Yu standing at the doorway wrapped up in a crimson blanket. He looked very cute there, rocking back and forth on his heels. Jingwang couldn't help but smile and beckon him over. Li Yu immediately moved closer and sat down next to Jingwang. On the table were a lot of blueprints. Li Yu accompanied Jingwang to work at the Ministry of Works. He effortlessly recognized that these were topographic maps. Jingwang was clearly studying the terrain at the moment. As soon as Li Yu came over, Jingwang picked him up, along with the blanket. He touched Li Yu's hand, which was exposed outside, and felt his palm was slightly cold. Giving Li Yu a faintly reprimanding look, Jingwang placed Li Yu's hands on his own chest to warm them up. Li Yu felt warm and very comfortable. Quietly, he pointed at a map and asked, "What are you looking at these for, Your Highness?" "They just arrived at Lufeng town." Li Yu thought, was Jingwang going to start building houses again? Jingwang took a brush, circled a position on the map and wrote, "One man can hold the pass against 10,000. Is Your Highness preparing to go to war?" Li Yu asked curiously. Lufeng town was located at the western borders, which was often chaotic. Li Yu had thought about the possibility of getting involved in a border war on their way there. But wouldn't it be too reckless to raise arms as soon as they arrived? Why would he want to fight? Jingwang saw through his thoughts and handed him a secret report. Li Yu asked with uncertainty, "Am I allowed to?" Jingwang nodded. Li Yu opened the secret report. This was actually the confessions from the captured assassins. The assassins stated that they came on orders from a local official by the surname of Wu. Official Wu used a huge amount of money to hire them and sent them over to assassinate Jingwang. The truth of the source of this assassination was somewhat unexpected. Li Yu had thought that these assassins were sent by the sixth prince. Unexpectedly, it wasn't the sixth prince but was a local official instead. Li Yu was puzzled. This local official shouldn't even have seen Jingwang before. Moreover, this official Wu seemed to be fairly wealthy, so why would he order the assassination? Jingwang received Li Yu's utterly confused gaze and gave another piece of secret report to him. Apparently, Jingwang himself also thought a mere local official who dared to pay assassins to commit murder was highly suspicious. Therefore, he ordered his guards to investigate Wu's background. In a mere day, the guards gathered enough intelligence on official Wu thoroughly. It really wasn't a secret inside Lufeng town. For official Wu to gather such wealth in this remote and desolate place and stirred up troubles, it was actually because he was secretly colluding with the bandits who roamed around all over the west frontier. Before Jingwang arrived at the west frontier, he already made an extensive research about the area. Presently, there were two hidden yet formidable dangers in the west frontier. One of which were the bandits, which made the emperor worry all year round. Because the west frontier was at the borders and was constantly besieged with border war, the bandits took advantage of this situation to roam around harassing civilians, opposing the government repeatedly. The emperor once sent soldiers on a punitive expedition, but it ended up with poor results. The bandits grouped up with the neighboring country. Not to mention, they controlled the more advantageous territories. The government soldiers were unable to eliminate the bandits, and just like this, they became a sore point for the emperor. In this, Lufeng town was the throat of the entire west frontier. The emperor attempted to appoint many officials here, but none of the officials managed to last for more than half a year. They either end up resigning or dying of unnatural causes. The current mayor really couldn't find anyone, so he picked a local of the town to substitute temporarily. The emperor sent Jing Wang over. On one hand, it was to test Jing Wang. On the other hand, it was because he decided to do something about the west frontier. Before Jing Wang left the imperial palace, the emperor gave him a secret decree, ordering Jing Wang to look at it after he arrived at the west frontier. Now that Jing Wang had arrived, he pulled out the imperial decree to have a look. The emperor ordered him to take control of the west frontier and act accordingly. With this imperial edict, Jing Wang started to take reins. He first ordered his guards to capture official Wu, whom the assassins pointed out as the mastermind. Official Wu was brought before Jing Wang. Denying everything in a million ways and refusing to admit to his crimes, he presented an arrogant and outrageous attitude in front of Jing Wang. Uncourteous in return, Jing Wang promptly used force on official Wu and beat him half to death. The guards went to seize official Wu's residence and discovered that other than gold and silver inside his residence, the seller also hid countless priceless and rare treasures. There were also plenty of weapons. Actually, the identity of official Wu was fake as well. He was really a bandit in disguise and had been hiding amongst the people of Lufeng town. He was acting as a spy for the bandits and was secretly transporting stuff. When Jing Wang arrived at Lufeng town, the bandits didn't care much for this mute prince who arrived from the imperial city, treating him as the same as the government officials they had bullied before. The head of the bandits decided to give Jing Wang a show of force, so they ordered official Wu to send assassins. Since Jing Wang managed to figure out official Wu's identity, of course he wanted to punish him in accordance to the law immediately and strike a blow to the bandits' fire. However, this decision would definitely infuriate the bandits. The bandits have been running rampant inside the west frontier for a long time. Jing Wang had considered dealing with them before, however, even though he brought his elite forces over here, there wasn't a lot of manpower. If the imperial guards sent by the emperor assisted with the battle, the chance of victory was higher and perhaps he would have a better chance of winning. Although Jing Wang had read plenty of books on the art of war, this was still his first time to go into a battle. After picking an excellent spot to face the bandits, he still needed to think of a perfect battle strategy. Unfortunately, the bandits were well trained and numerous. It was not easy to come up with a perfect battle strategy with his current circumstances. Li Yu's head was already spinning from reading the secret reports. He felt quite the admiration for his boyfriend. Fish's head was completely full of yellow garbage. Just look at his boyfriend, who was focused on doing work and not on doing him. Now this was what's called putting the big picture at the forefront. Looks like if the bandits weren't dealt with, Fish won't be able to do the nasty. Is your highness having trouble over battle tactics? How about I give you an idea? Scratching his chin, Li Yu feigned a profound smile. He has seen the emperor and the former Duke of Chang'an both scratching their chins before, so he wanted to try scratching his as well. However, the other two had impressive long beards growing on their chins. Li Yu was still only a young man, his chin was completely smooth. Scratching it really seemed out of place. Jing Wang held back a laugh and gave him an expectant look, as if asking, "What idea?" Jing Wang's eyes were dark and bright, undoubtedly the most beautiful part of his facial features. When he was looking at others, his eyes were cold and frigid, but when he was looking at Li Yu, they were filled with affections and love. Being stared at by this pair of dazzling bright eyes, Li Yu felt his heartbeat jump rapidly. He felt like ever since he admitted to being a Carpiao, Jingwang trusted him even more deeply. Liu forced himself to focus, doing his best to not let his thoughts run off course again. He pointed at the map and said, "Your Highness, look. Several families in Lukfeng town have cellars. These cellars can be expanded. When the fight starts, we can first prepare some water and food and keep the civilians inside these cellars. Not only can it guarantee their safety, it can prevent the bandits from noticing when we move the civilians outside of the town." Liu didn't want the civilians to be harmed, so he thought of the cellars like they were some kind of air raid shelter. Not bad. Jingwang nodded his head proudly. After the civilians are well hidden, there's no need to worry anymore. We can draw out the bandits into the town. By that time, they would be out in the open, while we're hidden in the dark. If it's not too much trouble, you can dig some tunnels, which can be used for a fence. Liu mysteriously blinked his eyes and then drew some pitfall traps that he knew. Fish never read any books on the art of war, but Fish knows about landmine warfare and tunnel warfare. Jingwang carefully considered Liu's words and gained plenty of ideas. He was just about to ask more when he suddenly discovered that young Master Li changed back into fish form again and was vigorously wagging his tail at him. "Pa pa pa." Jingwang proficiently picked up the blanket and fish. He settled the fish back into the fish tank and then placed the blanket on the bed. After doing all of this, Jingwang abruptly discovered the matching pair of pillows placed on the bed. This must be Xiao Yu's masterpiece. Jingwang smiled. He tidied up the crimson blanket. A box was exposed next to the jade pillow. Jingwang reached over and dug around. He discovered that there were actually several other boxes. Jingwang opened one of the boxes and saw the shiny white, slippery ointment inside. He suddenly realized the missed opportunity that he had passed by just now. When official Wu was captured, at first he didn't panic at all. He thought that Jingwang would use him to negotiate with the bandits. However, after Jingwang had discovered his true identity as a bandit, Jingwang didn't actually allow him to keep his pitiful life. Instead, Jingwang directly hung him to death under a big tree in the town and seized all of his wealth and property. Since the bandits dared to give Jingwang a show of force, Jingwang naturally could also slap them back in the face. The town mayor felt very worried because of this. Jingwang was a prince who came over from the distant imperial city. The mayor didn't really expect Jingwang to make any glorious achievements, however, he definitely couldn't encounter a mishap during his stay in Lukfeng town. After learning that Jingwang was attacked by assassins, the mayor was so scared he almost fainted. Yet now, Jingwang actually ordered a bandit to be hung to death. The mayor smiled bitterly. Now it was no longer possible to avoid a mishap. Executing official Wu was equivalent to declaring war on the bandits. The government soldiers fought them several times before but didn't manage to win. How many people did Jingwang bring? He had just arrived at Lukfeng town and was already trying to eradicate the bandits. If a prince stirred up trouble, it's no matter to them. They could just drop everything and walk away. But what about the civilians that would be left behind at Lukfeng town? For a while, everyone in the small town felt anxious all day. The mayor requested to see Jingwang several times, but Jingwang never permitted it. On a certain night, the infuriated bandits started attacking the town. When they charged into the town, they discovered that all of the civilians had disappeared. Meanwhile, the unexpected opponents, who seemed to appear and disappear out of nowhere, made the bandits completely confused and disoriented. When they discovered that the situation didn't look good and wanted to escape, they fell into several traps as they tried leave at the outskirts of the town. This was the first time that the bandits suffered so terribly, as they got beaten mercilessly and severely by Jingwang, who was just guarding and waiting idly for the prey to fall in. End chapter. The disabled tyrant's beloved pet fish. Transmigration. Chapter 81. Liu was being accompanied by Wang Shi along with a few guards. He walked down a small road in Lukfeng town. It was just after the battle with the bandits, the civilians of the town should be very tired, but the townspeople that Li Yu saw along the roads were all very energetic and was conversing excitedly amongst themselves. "Young master, this is because our prince managed to win." It gave them faith and confidence. Wang Shi did his best to praise his master. This was the first battle between Jingwang and the bandits. It was also the first battle that Lufeng town experienced in the last few years where they won against the bandits. The townspeople were greatly encouraged and felt that the bandits weren't actually invincible like they have imagined. Furthermore, they felt that the far-distanced emperor didn't actually abandon this piece of land to the wolves. Most of all, the mute prince that came from the imperial city Jingwang, brought people over to personally repel the attack from the bandits. Several civilians saw Jingwang's tactics with their own eyes and described it vividly for everyone else. When the bandits were lured into the town, the guards that followed the prince would appear out of the blue from places that the bandits would have never imagined to deal them punishing blows. Jingwang himself, who seemed to be possessed by a war god, and beheaded 3 bandits by himself while on horseback. Because of this, Jingwang's impressive reputation began to spread. Apparently before Jingwang had reached the west frontier, the civilians already heard about how this mute prince from the imperial city had a ruthless and tyrannical personality. The impression that the civilians had towards Jingwang was terrible. Later on, Jingwang hung official Wu, who was actually a bandit, right in front of the crowd. The civilians felt gratified, but at the same time they were more afraid of being implicated. They only hoped that this prince would leave as soon as possible. However, they did not expect that this prince would fight himself and even ended up defeating the bandits that had harassed them for many years. All of the civilians changed their attitudes towards Jingwang. Presently, they all felt like this prince was their guardian protector. As long as Jingwang was here, Lufeng town won't have any more worries. The person whose attitude changed the most was the town's mayor. Before the battle with the bandits began, the mayor was full of worries from the bottom of his heart. After fighting the bandits, the mayor practically wanted to sing His Highness Jingwang's praise to everyone in the town daily. He felt like Jingwang was much stronger than the useless government officials that were sent here in the past. Li Yu heard the civilians praise Jingwang and felt even happier than receiving praises himself. Although he gave Jingwang the idea by mentioning tunnel warfare and setting underground traps, he didn't understand how to use soldiers. Simply by explaining a little, Jingwang managed to figure out the concept himself. Their luck was also not bad. It just happened that Lufeng town already had a few small underground tunnels. The civilians were afraid of the bandits before, so they secretly dug these tunnels privately. Jingwang just put these to use while ordering the guards to dig some new ones overnight. Also, he set up plenty of traps in chokehold areas that the bandits had to pass through in order to leave the town, making the bandits suffer plenty and decimating their forces. Other than this, Jingwang joined the battle himself, which boosted morale. He led the guards to attack effectively. Ultimately, the reason for their victory was because of Jingwang's contributions. Li Yu was also fortunate enough to witness another form of mine warfare and tunnel warfare in this ancient era. When they went to fight the bandits, Jingwang told Li Yu that he wanted Li Yu to hide together with the civilians and that he would send people to protect Li Yu for his safety. However, Li Yu refused. He wanted to pick a hidden place to observe the battle. Jingwang granted his request. Throughout the battle, from start to finish, Li Yu followed Jingwang closely with his gaze, watching this mute young man fight bravely like an unstoppable force. The blood-drenched scene no longer made Li Yu afraid. Sometimes, Li Yu would still worry about losing Jingwang. However, he knew that Jingwang needed to go in person to this battle to establish his might. This was the first step on Jingwang's official road to taking over the throne. Although the deep grudge and hatred from the original novel was gone, some people were born with certain innate ability. This was the ability to become a leader who's capable of sweeping all obstacles on their path. Young master, please wait. Can this humble one ask you if you're a subordinate of His Highness Jingwang? An old woman, who was leading a child, attempted to stop Liu. In the battle just now, many bandits were captured. The civilians were lined up in a row and personally inspected by the mayor to ensure that nothing was amiss. There shouldn't any suspicion in their identity. Liu also had guards and Wang Shi was next to him, so he trusted these were normal civilians even more. Therefore, he stopped. "Grandma, I'm His Highness Jingwang's attendant. How can I help you?" Liu asked warmly. The old woman confirmed that she found the right person and shakily pulled out a floral wreath from her sleeve. She handed it to Liu and said, "Please help me give this to His Highness Jingwang. This humble one made this flower wreath myself. Many thanks to him for saving me and my grandson." For a second, Liu didn't know how to respond. The old woman explained that during this battle with the bandits, many civilians were transported to a safe spot. The old woman's grandson was mischievous and had disappeared. In order to search for her grandson, the old woman missed the opportunity to be evacuated. Not knowing where to go, she could only wail in anguish at the side of the road, where she was accidentally seen by Jingwang. "His Highness ordered the guards to help me find my grandson and helped us get to the safe spot as well. That's how we managed to survive." The old woman knew that if it were somebody else, they might not care about an old woman like her and her grandchild. Therefore, she felt extremely grateful and wanted to give her thanks to Jingwang. Liu actually never thought that the disabled tyrant would also do something like this good deed. Could it be that because of his little butterfly effect, the tyrant was now changing towards the direction of a benevolent ruler? Liu said with a wide grin, "Grandma, there's no need to be so polite. This one will definitely help you pass on the message." The old woman was full of graciousness. Liu asked Wang Shi to wrap a red pouch for her and her grandson. Proudly puffing up his chest, Liu felt a sweetness in his heart that was even sweeter than drinking honey. After seeing and hearing enough along the road, Liu returned to the residence with the flower wreath that the old woman had given him. Jingwang was currently taking off his armor. Liu's eyes lit up as he came over. "Your Highness, wait. Let me touch it first." Who knows what Jingwang was thinking? His face instantly turned faintly red as he lowered his hands. Liu carefully touched the shiny silver armor on Jingwang's body. He knew that Jingwang had already hastily wiped it off once before to avoid bringing bloodstains before Liu's sight. Sometime Liu felt that he was being such a hypocrite. When you like someone, shouldn't you have to accept everything about them? For instance, Jingwang liked him even though he learned that he could turn into fish. Like being mute, the bloodstains on his armor were all part of Jingwang. Avoidance was a kind of consideration, but acceptance was the same as well. "Your Highness, in the future I will do my best to get used to it. Please do not worry," Liu said warmly while volunteering to help him take off the armor. At first Jingwang didn't understand what Liu was talking about. When the armor was half off, he suddenly realized and hugged Liu, kissing him twice fiercely. The armor had too many edges. Liu felt a bit of pain as those edges dug into his skin, but he still hugged Jingwang back just as tightly. Getting rid of the armor, Liu wanted to help Jingwang change into casual robes. Jingwang often helped him put on clothes. Liu felt that it was no big deal to help Jingwang in return. Unexpectedly, when he made his move, Jingwang quickly shook his head. Liu was already serving His Highness in changing clothes. Was there something he's not satisfied with? His Highness Jingwang wasn't actually dissatisfied. Instead, he pulled out a robe from the wardrobe that was purple-red with gold inlay and handed it over to Liu with a smile. What Jingwang meant was, "It's very good that Xiao Yu wanted to help him change clothes, but the clothes before weren't fitting for the occasion." Full of question marks, Liu helped Jingwang change into the new clothes. This outfit was probably Jingwang's most gorgeous set of clothes. The robe was of red base with gold inscriptions. The jade belt was embedded with pearls. If Jingwang wore this and then put on a red hair ribbon, it would almost look like he was getting married. Li Yu was currently amusing himself secretly with this thought when he saw Jingwang actually taking out a red hair ribbon and a jade comb, and then handing them to Li Yu. Li Yu. Li Yu vaguely understood what he meant and said with a smile, "I'm really bad at tying hair. It'll look very ugly. Is that still all right?" Jingwang still nodded. Li Yu gave it his all and did his best to tie Jingwang's hair as properly as he could. Finally tidying up the boyfriend, Li Yu excitedly said, "I also want to change clothes." Inside his portable storage space, Li Yu hid a new outfit that Jingwang had commissioned for him. His Highness Jingwang's doctrine was, no matter where they were, his wife must have enough clothes. Before leaving the imperial city, Jingwang rushed to make several outfits for Li Yu all at once. Adding in the ones that were made previously, Li Yu could change into a new outfit every day effortlessly, without repetition. The robes that he took out right now was one Li Yu especially liked. For once, Jingwang didn't embed a lot of gems on this outfit. Instead, it was a very dignified crimson silk robe. There was an image of fish playing with peony flowers embroidered on the robe. The gold-threaded peonies overlaid layer by layer from the hem of the clothes to the waist. Around the waist was a realistic-looking carp that was smelling the peonies. The embroidery on this outfit was extremely outstanding. Each flower petal of the peony was beautiful and alluring. The fish was silver base with gold, fish scales looking like they shone with light. Before, Li Yu had a silver-colored robe that was very similar to his fish body's appearance. This outfit as well, seemed to perfectly replicate the appearance of his fish body. Even the size of the fish was similar. Li Yu loved it as soon as he saw it. Because Jingwang was wearing red, Li Yu also wanted to wear something red. Kind of like a matching couple's outfit. They also wore something similar at Yeshizi's wedding. Li Yu changed into his clothes. Jingwang tacitly helped him tie up his hair and wrapped a belt with a double fish pattern around Li Yu's waist. After getting dressed, the two faced each other and read the breathtaking exclamation from each other's eyes. What should we do next?" Li Yu accidentally stammered. Smiling, Jingwang reached into his sleeve. "Li Yu!" Li Yu screamed non-stop internally, "Here it comes, here it comes." This man was about to conjure up something again. What will it be this time? A romantic lovey-dovey note or a little goldfish to make him happy? Actually it was neither. Jingwang pulled out a rock from his sleeve and placed it in Li Yu's palm. Li Yu carefully gave it a look. This rock was fish-shaped and looked very familiar. Wasn't this the fish-shaped rock that he carried with his mouth to place together next to the jade figure of Jingwang at the bottom of the big fish pond at Jing Estate? Li Yu remembered vaguely that he fell sick after throwing a tantrum. After that, the rock and jade figure disappeared, their whereabouts were unknown. Li Yu thought that perhaps the water current carried them off to some corner somewhere and felt it was rather unfortunate. Nevertheless, he didn't care too much. He never imagined that the fish-shaped rock would be in Jingwang's hands. "How did your highness find this?" Li Yu delightedly fiddled with the rock. He never played with this in human form before. Jingwang only wanted to give Li Yu this rock as a gift. As for how he found it, Jingwang didn't want to discuss it because it would take a long time to explain. Li Yu fiddled with the vein texture on the surface of the rock. Then he suddenly looked at Jingwang with eyes shining brightly and asked, "Is that jade figurine also in your hands, your highness?" Jade figurine? Jingwang very quickly understood what Li Yu was talking about. Originally, he planned to secretly put it away. But since Fish wanted it, he also took it out and put it in Li Yu's palm. One hand holding the jade figurine while the other was holding the fish-shaped stone, Li Yu still placed the two together as he smiled widely, eyes curving. Jingwang silently watched Fish play for a while. After Li Yu put them away, Jingwang turned around and pulled out a jar of wine from a trunk with many secret compartments. Li Yu. Through the cover of the jar, Li Yu could smell the aroma of green plum wine. He didn't know that Jingwang had brought this thing from the imperial city. "Your highness, Did you move everything inside the estate over? Jingwang shook his head and then used a silver knife to open the jar of wine. This was a jar of wine that had never been opened before. The instant it opened, the thick aroma drifted out, making Li Yu salivate. Jingwang changed his usual habit of not allowing Li Yu to touch liquor and pulled out 2 small jadeite cups. These 2 wine cups were also somewhat special. Each cup had a fish carved on it, one on the left and the other on the right. Placed together, they made a perfect circle. Jingwang filled the 2 cups with wine and handed one of the cups to Li Yu. Li Yu was just about to place the wine cup next to his mouth when he secretly glanced at Jingwang. Jingwang was also holding the wine cup, however, he didn't move at all. Instead, he held his arm straight out. Li Yu suddenly realized something and changed his trajectory to move his arm over as well. The 2 people's arms intertwined as they drank from each other's cups. This wine is really delicious. Li Yu felt like it tasted even better than the first time he drank some. Jingwang smiled faintly, deciding to tell this fish later that he received this from the former Duke of Chang'an before they left the imperial city. This was supposed to be the wine meant for their wedding. Very quickly, the clothes were changed. The wine was consumed. And then, Li Yu almost forgot about the flower wreath from the grandma. Li Yu handed Jingwang the flower wreath that he brought back and briefly narrated the grandma's story. "Did you really do that, Your Highness?" Although Li Yu knew it was most likely true, he still felt astonished. After all, other than saving fish, Jingwang never did anything like that before. Jingwang somewhat awkwardly nodded his head. He really did it? Although there was a little misunderstanding in this. Jingwang himself really didn't care about how the civilians of the West Frontier thought of him. The reason why he saved the old woman wasn't actually because he took pity on her. He was used to being solitary from childhood and rarely cared about others. Even now, his heart still remained cold and hard. However, Xiao Yu worried about the civilians and didn't want them to be hurt. Therefore, Jingwang was only making Xiao Yu's wish come true. It was hard for Jingwang to explain this. Li Yu handed him the flower wreath. With a smile, Jingwang placed it back on Li Yu's head. It was more fitting to have Xiao Yu to receive this gesture of gratitude. With a flower wreath on his head, Li Yu felt very playful. Smiling, he pulled off a red flower from the flower wreath and stuck it on Jingwang's chest. Wearing red, drinking wine and now with a flower brooch, Jingwang was practically a new groom. Li Yu inevitably recalled the main mission task of be passionate like dried wood in flames, and couldn't help but felt thirsty. "Your Highness, are you tired?" Li Yu asked with a reddened face. Afraid of missing the opportunity to be with this fish again, Jingwang pulled out enough energy to knock down 10 times the bandits that he just defeated and forcefully shook his head. "Li Yu, not tired, then how about we talk a bit more?" Jingwang, who felt like they were moving further from the main topic at hand. This chance was hard to come by. Jingwang grabbed the fish's hand and pulled fish closer. The lips that moved over were filled with the fragrance of wine, a very tender and romantic kiss. Immersed in the kiss, Li Yu moaned quietly. Jingwang wrapped arms around his waist and picked him up. Li Yu seemed to have realized what was going to happen and figuratively struggled a bit. Jingwang carried him to the bed that was covered by a bright red blanket. It was the same one that Li Yu secretly spread on it a few days ago. Li Yu swept a glance at the blanket and felt embarrassed but also delighted. Jingwang had helped him tie his hair personally earlier. Now, he was also patiently helping Li Yu loosen it again. On this night when he was bound to lose something, Li Yu felt like he should say something sweet and romantic in conclusion. He had imagined this a million times before. It's best if the words were something extremely interesting, capable of hooking Jingwang so much that he wouldn't be able to stop himself. Something that Jingwang would never forget. Remembering that Jingwang liked the joke about absorbing essence and thought about it constantly, Li Yu became excited and teased him with the same tone as the Yao from those romance novels. "Husband, A Scorpio also need to absorb essence. He had not even done speaking when Liu felt his view darkened as he was tackled down on top of the bed. End chapter.